Hi, Dennis McMahon here. Australian, living in Malaysia, been here for 13 years. Been involved in the construction industry, in prefab, modules, that type of thing for since 2015-16. This channel, it's called Prefabulous Structures, and that's exactly what it's going to do. We're going to deliver for you interviews with founders, technologists, designers, engineers of all sorts of prefab structures, whether it's buildings or bathrooms or bridges or whatever. We love prefab. My involvement in the construction industry has been that traditional ways of working just don't work, particularly in places like Malaysia, very tropical, lots of rain, skill levels not so high, so you end up with long delays on projects, take forever to get done, rain delays, quality of work not so good. So about 2022, about 6 years ago, we set up a company called MCM Greenman Group, which is the company I run now. And basically what we were doing was R&D into the types of materials that you could use for prefab structures. We use structural steel, built some modules, some 20 by 10 modules, LGS. We even looked at engineered timber at that point. There wasn't too much supply around, but we had a look at it. We've even in recent years tried things like bamboo. So at the moment though, there's an opportunity for real prefabbing of buildings. Quite a number of new technologies have been coming out. There's 3D printing, both in a factory as well as on site. There's obviously the LGS, the steel side of things. There's some amazing work being done now with engineered timber, particularly in mass timber for large building structures, where they're actually using timber as the structural members. So what this channel is going to do, it's going to bring to you all sorts of information about prefabbing. It could be prefabbing for a bathroom module, prefabbing for modular panels, prefabbing for whole houses, could be even prefabbing for things like bridges. I'll give you an example. I'm in Malaysia now. I said I've been here about 13 years. I'm from Australia though, and you know we had some experience in recent times in building a bridge, just a footbridge, nothing dramatic, over a pond on a property nearby, and it was done traditionally, as in everything was done on site. So we put in the I-beams, it requires people going out in the water, putting it on, everything else, and then there was all the welding, and then there was rain delays, and there was all sorts of issues, and the quality of work wasn't great because the site conditions weren't very good either, and the guys had never done bridges before, so there's a lot of supervision activities to make sure things got done. It was okay at the end of the day, but as a project, it just took way too long. And I certainly felt the quality could have been a lot better if we'd done the prefabbing of various parts of the bridge and then brought it out, assembled it on site, picked it up with a crane, dropped it on the abutments, and it would have been perfect. So anyway, so what we actually did on our side was we went back to the drawing board and designed for what we call the bridge in a box. And the idea is for footbridges, as I said, we're not talking about huge structures here, but it's more for aesthetics and the ability for people to just put it over their pond, put it over their small river, or whatever. We designed it so it was able to be built in a factory in terms of the panels, both the truss panels for the side, as well as the deck panels and everything else. And then would all fit in a 20-foot container, taken on site, assembled on the ground, and then able to be picked up by a small crane, to just drop it on the abutments and the bridge is ready to go. That's an example of what can be done with prefabbing. It just means that you have the opportunity to design well, build to time, build to budget, build to spec, because you're not faced with the on-site challenges that you are, as I said, particularly in a tropical country like Malaysia, where you're going to get rain more days than not, and the ground conditions are pretty horrible, and therefore there's going to be lots of issues. So at the end of this video, I'll put a link at the bottom for the bridge in a box to give you an idea. We've got a full set of drawings there you can have a look at. But what this channel is, Prefabulous Structures, it's all about prefabbing. So we're going to be talking to the technologists, we're going to be talking to those guys who've come up with, for example, specific materials for concrete like 3D printing. We're going to be talking to guys who've got inflatable buildings. So you go out with an inflatable kit, blow it up, and then pump the concrete inside. We're going to be talking to the more traditional, if you like, prefabbing guys, the LGS guys, pre-stressed concrete. There's a whole range of different technologies out there. So we're going to talk to the founders and the owners of those businesses. We're also going to be talking to the designers and the engineers to understand what the challenges are with making basically a module or a house or a building or a structure in a factory, because we've got all the logistics issues of making sure the spec is right. You're not on site to sort of do fine tuning, so all that's got to be perfect as well. You've also got the shipping conditions you've got to worry about, particularly if you're shipping overseas. You've got testing and certification. That's a major issue, because just because you build something that might pass type approval in your country, but somebody wants to buy it from another country, what do you have to do? Will your type approval carry over to that country? Do you have to have specific approvals and certifications for that country? There's a whole range of different things, and we're talking about the prefab as an industry. So we're talking about the business side of things as well as the engineering side of things. So please subscribe down below and be ready to enjoy some fantastic interviews on Prefabulous Structures with Dennis McMahon, myself. Looking forward to it. I'm going to have a great time. We're actually looking at how we can set up what we call mass timber and prefabrication centres of excellence around the world. So that, for example, we can have the commercial licenses to build multiple types of prefab structures and components, because quite often one building will take more than one type of prefab technology. So what we want to have the ability to do is A, set up the centres of excellence to provide a bit of a boost for the industry, the prefab industry, in all those countries that we set up in. At the same time, we want to provide a global testing and certification capability, so that anybody who's got a new technology, a new system, a new material can come to us, and if it passes our tests, then they can market that product in any country throughout the world. So global certification. That's relatively new. I don't think anybody's done that before. It's going to be a challenge, as you can imagine, trying to get 200 plus countries to agree that one single type of testing regime is going to be suitable for all countries. But that's what we're moving towards. At the same time, on the commercial side, we're going to introduce all of these types of technologies into all the countries that we're going to operate in, kicking off in the Southeast Asian area, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, etc. So we're looking forward to having a great journey, and we certainly hope you subscribe and come on board with us. We also have the opportunity, and I'll put a link down below as well. I have a Patreon channel as well. If you feel like financially supporting this channel, then go right ahead. Otherwise, please share to all those in the industry, whether it's architects, contractors, builders, designers, engineers, just people who might be interested, generally speaking. Please share it. And also, if you know of technologies that, prefab technologies in the construction industry or structural engineering, anywhere, any type, please shoot me an email or a WhatsApp. You'll see the numbers down below. And we'll make contact with that company and that technology and bring that to you as well. So looking forward to having a great time on this journey. Hope to see you here soon. I'm going to keep in touch with you guys when you subscribe, in terms of how often we're going to be putting these out. I'm hoping what we're going to do is actually build up a library bank and probably release them once a week. They're not going to be that long. I'm going to try and keep them to about 15-20 minutes, so we don't burden the guys and girls we're interviewing, but also so you can have a quick snapshot of something. If you're a Patreon member, we're going to have some sort of more in-depth discussion and analysis with each one of them, so you can enjoy that as well. But in the meantime, I look forward to having you subscribe to this channel, hit all notifications, make sure we don't miss you next time out, and we look forward to having a great time. Thanks. Bye.